Good morning, friends. How are we doing today? Okay, that's fair. I had a pretty good day yesterday. A lot of rest. It's exactly what I needed. Maybe too much rest. I woke up at like 4 o'clock this morning, just wide awake, so I got an early start. Anyway, please remember at some point to get up, to stretch a little bit, to drink some water, take your meds if that applies to you, eat something if you can. And I hope that you remember that you are loved, you matter. I'm so glad you're here with me. And I hope that you have a good day, or do what you need to do to survive the day. I have, I'm working a half day today, and then I have my follow up for with the orthopedic surgeon for my knee, and then I am doing a tutoring session. Yeah, so it's kind of a busy day. I'm working from home, so that does make it a little bit easier for that transition. Anyway, so my cane is coming along quite nicely. It is like the first half is pretty full of sayings and quotes, some from my children, some from students, most from you guys. I kind of went back through comments and looked for some, so I've got this blank spot here that I still need to fill up, but it's turning out really well, and it's now like this fun thing. Like, I enjoy carrying it with me because it's like I'm carrying all of y'all's encouraging words and phrases along with me. So anyway, all right, we're gonna have like about an hour or two. What time is it? Oh yeah, it's 6 o'clock. I start working at 7:30, so I have not edited yesterday's vlog, so I think I'm gonna go sit on the couch and do that. Right. All packed up and heading to my orthopedic appointment. Yeah! At the initial meeting, talked about the swelling. So we're going to try to drain the rest of the fluid out of the knee, and we're going to go from there. All done with the appointment. It went pretty well. Of course, now my knee feels all weird because, we took a bunch of fluid out of it. But it's still a good thing. And we're going to follow up in about 6 weeks and go from there. So now, I don't know where I'm going next. That was a bittersweet trip. So that shop is called Made Global. It is one of my favorite places in town, but they're closing
And it's kind of heartbreaking for two reasons. One, it was one of my favorite stops on my Thursdays, and a number of my self-care healthcare day vlogs, I would go there to get a cup of coffee and talk with Holly, the owner, a friend of mine. She was the second person to let me display my art in a public place in her shop. So that was just really exciting, to build a relationship with somebody that believed in me. She let me teach a textile art workshop in her shop, and her commitment is to sustainable, shopping, sustainable consumption, consuming, buying stuff. Wow, I can't talk. I got a couple things. One is this, it's an African breakfast tea by this company called Just Tea. And then I also picked up some spices. So this is called a Zatar, and it's from a company called Canaan Palestine. I don't know if you can even see it. Even though the shop is closing, I think that she's still going to be looking for ways to do sustainable things. Before she had a brick and mortar, she was doing pop-ups around town. So hopefully that will continue, because I really want to do more of that with my purchasing. If I'm not buying thrifted or used, I really would like to be more conscientious of where I spend my money. Anyway, off we go. I stopped to see this mural that had recently been put up by the William & Mary artist in residence, Steve Prince. It's called Peace Quilt, and this is what he says about the piece. Peace Quilt is a mural about the inextricable connections we have as a people. Every culture on the planet has a patchwork quilt-making past, because they have gone through seasons of great lack where they had to figure out how to survive with the scraps. The quilt, therefore, is a metaphor for how we made a way out of no way, and that we are made up of disparate pieces that mesh together for better or for worse. Peace Quilt tells a story about America from the east to the west and from the north to the south, and beckons us to remember the past while moving forward into an untouched future, collectively working for peace. So the idea behind the piece is that we as Americans need to take an honest look at our history and not ignore the unsavory or terrible parts of it, while at the same time working to move forward towards a more peaceful existence. And I think that's so important. As a former history teacher, I think it's important to teach all parts of history, whether they're comfortable or not, with the goal of learning from history. It's not to learn the negative things from the past just to feel sad or angry or upset that it happened, but to be informed and aware and to motivate us to live more peacefully. You know what, I'm not going to get into that right now. But it is a really cool mural, and I'm really glad I stopped to take the time to look at it. All right, tutoring went well. It was for writing, poetry writing actually. And now I'm gonna go home and rest my leg because it is hurting so bad. Back home, I got ice on my knee, got my stormtrooper socks, and then having fried rice, vegetable fried rice, and apple slices for dinner with tea. This is why I like to use French presses sometimes for tea, because I can brew the tea and it's double walled or whatever, so it's gonna stay hot. So this one's just for tea. Anyway, and then my daughter and I are about to watch Next in Fashion season 1. It's almost near the end, and they've gotten rid of all my favorite people, so I'm kind of angry, but I'm still gonna wait and see how it wraps up in the end. I felt like I had a final thought that I wanted to leave y'all with before I ended the vlog, but I can't remember if it was something about from the tutoring or from the thought about sustainable shopping or the thought about history. I don't know.
If y'all saw a theme in this vlog, let me know in the comments so I can like know what I was talking about all day. All right, friends. For now, it is time for your next adventure. I'll miss you. I love you.